Hi guys, I am Loy Belmonte from Group 2. So for the past days, my groupmates and I have been brainstorming about the importance of risk assessment. So in this video, we're going to tackle 4 questions that are hopefully important for you to realize how important risk assessment is. So, are you ready? For the first question, why is it important to conduct a risk assessment prior to implementing mitigation controls?
It is important to conduct a risk assessment prior to implementing a mitigation control in order to get an overview of the risk and hazard present in an area. You cannot come up with solution if you don't know what the problems are. There is the need to identify first the hazard and determine the possible harm and risk it could cause to people. Conducting an efficient risk assessment will help us understand what areas impose hazard and risk. And with that information in hand, we are now able to implement mitigation controls that directly addresses the issues. And for the number 2 question, what outcomes would you expect when mitigation is based on a thorough risk assessment? This question would be answered by Hannah Jane Casipo.
So hello, good morning everyone. Now we will going to answer question number 2. So when you say mitigation, it is an action of reducing severity, seriousness, or painfulness of something. So if mitigation is based on a thorough risk assessment, hazard and risk may have a low percentage to occur in the area. Also, there is a great possibility that the effects of possible threat is minimized, and the risk to hazard may also reduce. Also, mitigation has a greater chance of coping with the risks or threats. It will guarantee you the possibility of having a well-defined environment, work, or any field of specificity. So we have here some examples of mitigation. These examples are related to the community, such as action planning, zoning, and floodplain. So the examples of preparedness action are installing disaster warning system and conducting emergency response and etc. So those are the examples of how risk assessment is important to come up with an effective mitigation. So now, let's proceed to the next question. What would you expect if mitigation is implemented without conducting risk assessment? This question will be answered by Romelyn Austin.
If a mitigation is implemented without conducting a risk assessment, there is a huge chance that the action plans will be subjected to failure. The action plans that were implemented might not be the adequate solution for the hazards and risk. The mitigation controls could go wrong and would not be as effective as doing what is necessary. Interruptions will happen, and there will be no controls to the conceivable changes, and numerous issues concerning the well-being of individuals may emerge. That is why it is necessary to conduct a risk assessment first before planning and evaluating for mitigation controls and its implementations. Give at least 2 examples of tools which you can use to conduct a risk assessment.
Brainstorming. Brainstorming is done with a group of people who focus on identification of risk for project. This tool provides a free and open approach that encourages everyone to participate. This tool also helps identify risks that might cause within the area, and with the ideas and knowledge being gathered, it is easier to conduct risk assessment. Next one is interviewing. An interview is conducted with the project participants, stakeholders, experts, etc. to identify risk. With the help of interviewing, it is easier to gather information to assess risk. This tool can help address risk, and with the opinion of other people, identifying risk would be easier. Other tools which you can use to conduct risk assessment are SWOT analysis, risk data quality assessment, risk register, checklist analysis, and more. To summarize it all, let's have Loy Belmonte to summarize our report.
So there you have it. Conducting a risk assessment is very important because it allows us to identify what the hazards and what the risks are. It helps us to identify what the problem is. As stated earlier, we cannot solve problems that we don't know what the causes are, right? So, the next time around that you conduct a risk assessment, you can recheck our answer in item number 4 to help you out. Thanks for watching!